on a Wednesday on Hump Day. How you guys doing, man? Today, you know something? Y'all noticed something today? I know I got on bright clothes. I'm fine. I know that. But have y'all noticed something today? Somebody, because they told me, my producer told me before the show to announce it, but somebody ain't him. You know what I'm saying? They not him. They in the squeak somewhere. But that's okay. Keisha's not here, y'all. But I tell you who is here. The CEO of a fabulous media company, the one and only Clarissa's in the building. And she got her lovely husband, Big Ernest, in the house. Yeah, right. Okay, welcome to the Kesia Joe Show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do not beat my ass because I'm sitting close to your wife. Okay, that's right.
I got this right out.
But see, we got that cross on, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking slow. You see that tight shirt. You better not get too close to my wife, man. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on to the show today. Kesia did send over guys, but guess what? Kesia's going to come from a secret live location from somewhere, so she's going to be calling into the show.
Secret live?
She has something that popped up, but she do want to make sure she can talk to y'all and get a chance to meet everybody. Well, I don't know what she didn't tell me what she's doing. All right, so I'm just trying to make it sound good for the digital airwaves. The Kesia Joe Show. You need to come over this way? I need to come over? Put the mic up a little bit closer? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Right there. Okay, that's better. You know, we still see we live. This is what happened, y'all. You know, when you're live, you got to make sure that the sound is good because we want to make sure you guys can hear us. And if you guys can hear us, make sure you go ahead and share and say, I can hear you. And say, since we got the pastors in the house because they are ministers, can you say amen? Because I'm a heathen, they're going to work on me today. I'm just saying. So these are ministers, they're pastors, they're CEOs, and I'm glad to have y'all guys on the show. And guess what? Y'all the first couple that Kesia and I are having on the show.
Really?
Yeah. Y'all are the first couple on the show, and you're the first actual woman guest. We've had women pop by the show, but actually having a guest and promoted them, you're actually the first woman guest on the show.
I feel like I'm really the first or something.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that. You know, I'm not going to get into that. Okay? I'm not going to get into that. But y'all, make sure you guys do us a favor. Wherever you share the video out there, hit the like button, man. Subscribe to our page. Make sure you guys go to Kesia page, subscribe to our page. But today we're coming live from the Joe Like It Show page on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You guys are locked into it. And right now, y'all, guess where we at? We're at the Filter Coffee Parlor Shop right here on the south side. That's again the Filter Parlor Coffee Shop right here on the south side. And they're gonna be bringing us some butterscotch salty coffee, y'all.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right, so before I get into all the, you know, and they are media personnel, they know how to do this stuff, y'all. So we can have a talk. Y'all ain't here no more. We can talk to my friends. So right now, let's get into this. These are my friends. I've known them for years. This has been knowing your wife. I'm sorry, sir, but I knew her.
Right.
But because I'm in the media business, how did y'all meet?
His football coach in college introduced us. Yeah.
In high school?
College.
Oh, college. Okay, in college. Okay, and so why did your coach want to introduce you to this beautiful young lady?
Well, I guess he saw something there. I have no idea. She was actually doing a media spot in something that she came in as Miss Black USA 1990, 91, and I was there on a football scholarship. So she was doing a media spot, and I was doing a media spot for the for the football team. So we both came together, I think at a park.
Yeah.
That they were
Somewhere outside.
I forgot whatever station was doing it now. That's when we finally kind of just met.
So Coach Barkham,
Yeah.
he's the ex-NFL player, was a coach there. So we owe this to him.
30 years.
He introduced us.
Yeah.
So if you guys are liking it right now on the Kesia Joe show today, we're waiting for Kesia to come in. I have the Kinties in the building. This is Ernest and this is Clarissa. Okay. So and this thing is in my ear.
Oh.
My phone is in my ear and my producer is on my phone. And I'm sitting there like, where did this feedback come from my ear? And I'm sitting there like, whoa, that was not going to work. It sounded okay, brother. Wow, that sounded good. Oh my goodness. But we have Mr. Ernest and Clarissa in the building, and today on the show, y'all, this is what I really want to get to. We always talk about relationships, right? Divorces, going through marriage, good times and bad times. But what I do want to talk about today on the show is this right here. And let me do this right here, since if you want to listen to the show. Is not the good things, and I'm happy about the good things, but that never helps anybody when we're talking about relationship. Y'all get this right. I really want to dive into. We're gonna, sprinkle around the good stuff, how y'all met, all that stuff. But I want people out there today to understand what it takes, the work that it takes to go into 30 years. And in 30 years, was it all great? Was it all bad? And if it's bad, I do want to dive into the how, the what, the time frame, the work that it took to get through that, and why did you stay? Is that gonna be okay for y'all guys today? So y'all hold tight. We got Filter Coffee Powder, some coffee right now. Okay. So here's yours, Ernest. Clarissa, here's yours.
Oh, it's cute. It has a little decoration.
Yeah. And y'all do us a favor. How that taste? Go ahead and taste it. Go ahead and taste it, man. Go ahead. Go ahead and taste it.
They don't want one.
That salted butterscotch thing that we always talking about. Yes. Go ahead and taste it. Let me know how it tastes when we get back into the interview.
Oh, it's excellent. It's perfect.
Y'all already know it.
Get some of this.
Yeah, and we did ours with oat milk.
And I'm just waiting all over my. It is that good. Just wasting my white pants there.
Do you like the oat milk?
I like the whole milk a little bit better, but I do taste, but it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's either one. Yeah. But you gotta need some water, get some water behind. But okay, so the 30 years, y'all got married, you seen she was beautiful. You used to rock with him. He was, he looked the part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Football player.
So how long did y'all date before y'all got married?
Actually, it was 3 years. We dated the entire time we were in college.
Okay.
And so he came to Miles a year before I did.
Okay.
I finished Miles in 3 years. And so he proposed to me the first year we met. And so we went through college, and as soon as we graduated, we got married.
You proposed the first year.
I had to do it. I saw it in the cafeteria. Cafeteria now. A friend of mine was sitting next to me. I said, man, that's gonna be my wife. And I never did it before anybody. In a relationship with a woman being my wife. I never did that. But yeah. My wife, come on, man, no. Right. Right. So I mean, fast forward, we met. Wasn't what do you call it? Lightning bolts and when we first met, but you knew next. But yeah,
But as a man, right, and we can talk to this. As a man, this is what I'm trying to tell fellas, man. She can be fine and beautiful, but as a man, you know you want to take off. You're not going to even play around with it.
Absolutely. My thing was, the obvious, yes, fine, beautiful, the whole thing, but I didn't even know her. No, she could have been a myth, right?
Right.
But I really
Later found out.
Nothing sprinkled here and there. I brought that out. But God is amazing, man, and how he shows you when he knows your intent. And I think my intent was pure. It wasn't that I want to get that. I want to hit that. I want to be with that. No, my intent was, I want to be married. And so he knew what type of woman I needed in my life. I didn't.
Hell, Pastor, did you know that at that early age? God didn't talk to me that he missed me. He missed me.
He mentioned you sometimes on LinkedIn.
over see they did right for you. Back for a while, I didn't get that. I didn't get that call.
But you know what? The thing is, that is good because, you know, I'm from South Florida. There's beautiful women everywhere. In South Florida, beautiful women in Birmingham. But to know that you know when someone has that, whatever it is, like if someone were to go back and ask me, well, what was that feeling like when you saw her, when you said what you said? What was that feeling? I don't know. I just knew it. Yeah, I just knew in my heart. You know, not even my mind. My mind didn't got me in trouble before.
Right.
But in my heart, I just okay, this woman.
Wow.
And I mean, God kept putting it, and I chased her. I did. I chased her, and just again, God's grace was on it. And
I like the way she's looking at her too.
Yeah.
When you watch these interviews with celebrities, right? You be sitting there and you watch how the wife is looking at her husband when she's talking. She's not looking at him like 30 years later with captivation. I'm sitting there looking at the smile on your face and like, yeah, well, now I got to ask you this question.
Yeah.
So he had to put on the check. Why do you make the man work so hard?
You know, I was raised as an alpha female. My dad really instilled a lot of confidence, integrity, and I just wasn't raised to run after men, number one. Number two, I was very independent. So it wasn't that I was making him run after me, it's just making him who I am. And so because of my independence, I wasn't needy or anything like that. So he felt compelled to run after me. It wasn't I was trying to make him chase.
And guess what? I wasn't used to chasing either. I was used to
They come to the football players talk about
right. That was different
and that probably make you think that if you wanted something, you had to go for it.
So that's when it all started. You know, I wouldn't trade it for the world. She challenged me from the jump. And I know I don't want to take the question, but she challenged me from the jump by being who she was. So I had to be mindful. Okay, now you say this was good. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard?
Right.
That might get into your head.
No, it goes far because you saw her. You said she was going to be your wife. Now, at 53, I'm big. You were how old when you was chasing or going after beautiful young ladies?
21.
You 21, 22. So this you probably didn't think about it. But when you saw her, did she have anything? This is a tough question. 21. What did she offer you to make you want to at that stage? Was it that you saw in her like, okay, I want to be her husband, but why was it you wanted her to be your wife? What was that you were looking at? The asset to your life that you felt that she could have been?
Well, like I said, at first it was the download God gave me when I first saw her.
Okay.
Well, as time grew and we became friends, then we became a couple. Mm-hmm. Well, what drew me in even closer to your question was she wasn't like any other female I had been with. Meaning she wasn't just with all of the fluff. She wasn't with all of the bulls. Okay. Because obviously she's beautiful, she's fine. Okay, right. Okay, so my flesh would get hot. Yeah. So I'm not with that. Okay. I'm not with all of that. But I'm like, man, this ain't working like it usually works. So it's like, okay, dang, what do I? Okay, oh wow, this is kind of different. So that in itself, I guess, you know, being immature but mature enough.
Right.
But mature enough to know, okay, this is something I need. It's not business as usual.
Okay.
You know, because I do remember feeling that. It's not business as usual. Okay, you need to chase this one because you ain't gonna find too many more like this.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So that's good, man, because I think, and why I'm asking these questions, fellas, because when you're out there talking to these women and they find them beautiful, right? At the end of the day, what do they bring to your life? What kind of asset is she's going to be once, you know, the bedroom action is over? Now you got to live with her for the next 22 or 23 hours of the day, every single day of your life. What does that look like? And so that's important, even if you're 53 or you're 23. And I think that's something that a lot of young men, when you're chasing these women, you need to think about when you're going after one, what kind of asset she would be. Now I want to go to you, Clarissa, as the woman. While he was chasing you, right? What were your thoughts when you saw him and he was chasing you? Did you want him? Did you want him to marry you? Did you want to be in his life? What was that looking like? Did you have to clear your bench for him?
No, I was I just actually got out of a relationship when I moved here. But neither one of us are from Birmingham. So he's from Florida, from South Carolina.
Okay.
But when I met him, but then I just really wasn't focused on the relationship, seeing anyone, dating anyone, nothing. So I really didn't, I just met him.
Okay.
And so later on, I think throughout that first semester, that's when God really started making me more aware of him.
Okay.
But even then, I knew he wasn't saved, and that was important to me. And so I was going to uphold those values. And so he would try to come over to my apartment on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, you welcome, whatever you want in the fridge, but I'm going to church. And I would leave him there. I would leave him there, and I didn't care.
Leave out smelling good, looking good.
Right.
So then this, I had to
Hey, she.
Yeah. Let me see what's going on here.
Yeah. She had to go to church and leave you at home.
So, but that was my thing. So I was really adamant about that. So if he really wasn't serving God, I really wasn't, interested per se. But even when it took me a long time to say I love you, he would tell me that all the time. And so he caught me one night. He was out on the football, traveling in Atlanta or something. He said, "I love you," and I said it back. I said, "Oh."
You got it.
So it was just, it wasn't like, oh, I knew I was going to marry him. No, marriage was nowhere in my thoughts at all.
But you liked him.
I liked him.
And you was hoping he was going to move in that direction.
Not really. I'll tell you this. I was that person. I didn't like being around, even if I was dating you. I didn't need to see you every day. Don't call me every day. We don't need to see each other every week. I like my peace. I was that person. But when I met him, we had a lot of fun with friends. So I look forward to seeing him every day. And we just have fun. He was in my head. He got me there. So, we just really were great friends first. And I could stomach being around him every day.
Wow.
And so I told him, I really don't have a problem being around you every day. This is different for me. So that, if I would say something that was very different, because I just really did not like being in, just people being in my space like that every day. So that was really something that I did. I was like, wow. I even told my mom that. I said, this guy is really cool. I mean, I can deal with him every day.
Wow.
That was just me.
If you guys are loving it right now, we're coming live at the Kesia Joe show. Kesia's in the building. She's getting ready to come onto the show. We're locked in live at the Fifth Coffee Parlor. We have the pastors in the building. They're trying to bless this heathen today. We're getting to their life story. We're getting to their life story right now of their 30-year marriage, their ministry that they actually, we come to find out they started off in college. And the pastor wasn't always the pastor back then. He was a star football player. It sounds like, Miss Campy was the one that was like the church going lady, and she turned him. So, she had to have a good at marriage. I'm just saying, pastor, she had to have a spiritual way. Wink.
Yeah. I started going to church.
We already read that. We didn't even ask you that question. But I tell you guys what, y'all know this is Kesia Joe show, and they say she's in the building like right now. So, Kesia, how you doing, baby girl?
Hey there, how y'all doing? I see. I'm hanging in pretty good. I'm in the club, getting ready for an Women's Business Empowerment Summit, Joe. So I thought I'd be able to kind of tell you what I'm going to show you around a little bit. So you got the front desk back there, and the summit's going to be actually right through here. Oh, let me just walk this way. Let me just kind of show you back here. There you go. right down that hallway. So I'm just,
She's-
you're gonna just let me go.
Short of that, that's nice. The digital connection, baby. That's how you do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, yeah, that, I mean, that's what I'm just keep learning with this bit. Joe, did you ask me a question?
No, I was being funny.
Oh,
And maybe, hey, y'all, if y'all listen, there may be a little delay here. Y'all can be live on the show and across the airways. So on the digital airways, y'all know how that goes.
Your earrings, Kesia.
listen,
Okay, there
you
you
all
go.
are handling the show just fine. So because you all are handling the show just fine, I'm going to let you know. I just wanted the audience to know where I was, and y'all are doing a great job. Clarissa, you and Ernest were coming on. I said they got it. It'll be all right. I'm good. I can go appearance.
So that means you don't trust Joe.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much. See, no, she let me the show be back on when she got back in. She brought the pastors in to hold me in and pray for me and hold my hand and give me a couple of hallelujahs. Amen.
I wasn't expecting that one, Ernest.
But we've been knowing Kesia for a long time too. Extremely long.
She told me that. Yeah. Yeah, she was extremely. She was torn about not being here. She really was. But I told her, I said, you know, they will understand. Just come to us and drop in. They'll be fine. But she was really torn about being here. Yeah, y'all see who that guy is right there? Doug Taylor. Jonathan Taylor.
Oh boy. But Joe, listen, you all are handling it. I know we have some feedback streaming on my different pages. So I have long admired Clarissa and being an example. So listen, you all can handle it. I just wanted to speak and say, hey, how are you doing? And to the conference, keep handling it. You look great.
All right, we love you.
Love y'all.
I love you too, sis.
Bye, y'all. Take care.
So, and so let me do this stuff. People always think me and her together. When giving kisses, I was just giving kisses. Just to be sensitive. Okay? People always like sweating down at me and her together because we hang out together, and we're not. So welcome back to the show. We're down here at the Filter Coffee Parlor right now, the one and only. We got the ministers in the building, the CEOs in the building. And y'all, do y'all have your own church?
No,
Okay.
no. We are members in lay ministers at Empowerment Word Church.
Okay.
Pastor Sean Edwards and
Okay.
Lady Gwen Edwards.
Okay, so Ernest and Clarissa Kenty is in the building, and we're talking about 30 years of marriage. And we've had fun. I really enjoyed the story of how y'all got together, right? And had all mixed together, and you chased her, and she made you wait. You started going to church. You know what I'm saying? You got your hallelujah on and amen. You know what I'm saying? She brought the heathen out of you. You know what I'm saying? You got you baptized. I'm happy about that. Okay, so let's move forward, America. You done went through the honeymoon phase. You're off the roller coaster. Y'all at Disneyland now. Y'all married. Okay. This is where it gets sticky, and I want to ask both of you guys, right? When was the first problem, right? If you guys don't mind telling us, maybe sort of kind of what it is, and then how did you handle it? Okay, when you first get married. So, ladies first.
I would probably say, you know, we can just kind of do this together. Probably when the children started coming.
Okay.
You have a tendency in this hindsight, when the children start coming in, you know, the attention that we're giving each other, you know, it takes a stress because now you have these children who need you, and you can't. It's like you got to do this. Then you think this is an option. But you got to do this. You got to feed them. You got to change them. You got to raise them. You got to calm their hair. You got to take care, make sure they're healthy. You take all this stuff you have to do, and so you tend to not cater as much. You have to make adjustments. And so I think where with me, I was just more focused on the kids more so, but thinking that we were on the same page. But I think Ernest was feeling a little
left out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know we have We have 3 children.
Mhm.
2 of them were 18 months apart. So it was like 2 were in diapers at the same
Right.
time.
Wow.
So we were busy.
Yeah. So, and this is, I hear a lot, and this show is for people going through marriage, about to get married, or you're going through some issues and you got someone to talk about. So hopefully through this show, do me a favor, share this video out there, wherever you're watching it, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, YouTube. Share this video out there because you're going through something and you're saying what? I need to put my microphone down just a tad bit. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So put it down a little bit. So, but share this video out there, y'all, because this is important when you're going through relationships. We can always talk about the bad stuff and people talk about what they ain't going to tolerate. When your wife was not giving you attention because of the kids, you did understand as a man, Ernest. How did you let her know? What were you going through and what was your thought pattern?
Well, first of all, when we talked about maturity earlier, right?
Okay. Yes.
So being mature enough to know when God was speaking. Well, in this area, I was not mature. And what that means is when I look back at it now, even though things were flowery and wonderful, I was still a broken person. And I was bringing a broken earning.
You're trying to go ahead, bro. I got
a broken earnest into a relationship that's meant for mature people. And so that's now I realize that's a natural response from a mother. A mother gravitates specifically. Well, a mature man welcomes that.
Do we?
Yeah. So mature man. Like if I was
mature or patient?
I think mature.
Okay.
And this is the thing. I think it's mature because when I look at 53 myself, if she would have a baby right now,
I will never forget you. Joe, I will not operate in forgiveness. Bitterness, malice, all.
I
don't do it. He don't do it. It ain't gonna go with.
I think at the level now, because I know certain things, human nature now, I would be more receptive to that. I know, I understand. You got to take care of the baby. I'll be over here. I'm good.
Okay.
But as a young man, all I'm seeing, what about me? What about me? So that broken part of me, that selfish part of me, that pride. That's what actually stepped in.
And then communication. Yeah. Because I think with me, I could have been a little bit more happy, good,
that part.
That's the communication thing. So I'm assuming that he knows that these kids are here.
Right.
And somebody gotta take care of it. So I'm thinking we are together. I would have never thought that part. He was helping with the diapers, he was helping with all of that. But he was so used because he was spoiled now.
Of course.
He was spoiled before the kids came.
Gotcha. Understood.
We talking about it. Look, in-house picnics and all this type of stuff.
Right.
Went to diaper change.
And you supposed automatically understood that.
Right. See, that's the thing I'm saying. She's thinking in a manner because a woman is built different and they're nurtured by nature. A mature man knows that. He said, should know it. Okay. And that's what I mean. She was on that part of, okay, let me get this straight first, the priority, because they're small. They're small children. And so when you look at the whole picture, if I'm not receiving that well, no, man, that just brought out what was already laying dormant. And then that fire, I call in different ebbs and flows of marriage, that was a fire part that I wasn't ready for.
I have to ask y'all this though, because I understand you keep saying the mature part, and I agree with you. But when people are going through this, just watching the show today, I think before you have the kids or during the time of pregnancy, what y'all suggest that you got to have that conversation what it's going to look like, or try to think about what it's going to look like. Because I think you're more turned off by sexuality because you want to take care of your part of you. He don't know that. Men out there, we don't. I don't care how mature you are. We selfish. We want what we want when we want it.
But Joe, it's not the fact that we're turned off.
Okay. It's not that. No. Okay, you're tired.
Two more. Two more kids.
So you're tired.
But it's redirected focus.
Okay.
Redirect the focus. So it's not that I
So how does a woman do that though? Because a lot of
she
times
do what?
redirect the focus because when they're going, we talking about people going through it. Y'all have been through it.
Mhm.
When you're going through it, you automatically, like you said, women. I've heard this said. He should understand. I shouldn't even have to explain this. Why do I have to have this conversation with him?
Right.
But we are Homer Simpson when it comes to what we want. We don't want to understand, and I'm not trying to hear it because by the time I'm frustrated with you, I've been understanding.
Right.
I don't get frustrated the first month or two.
Right.
It's that third, fourth, fifth month that you now started to neglect me.
Right.
That now I'm frustrated and you haven't said nothing. You acting like it's okay. That makes sense?
It does.
Okay.
And to me, and Ernest can add in, but to me, I would have appreciated that conversation. And so while I'm thinking, oh, you should understand, he's probably thinking, oh, you should understand. So you're thinking and assuming, but you're not talking.
Right.
And so 3 things will break down a marriage: lack of communication, lack of sex, and lack of funds. Those will do it. And that communication is the booger bear. People think sex, some people can be intimate, some people impotent. There can be a lot of things that could kill sex, and you can still get around that. Even with the finances per se, but if that communication stops, and now we're thinking and feeling and assuming and we're not talking and understanding, then that opens doors for other things. And so now you're pissed off and you're mad because you're thinking this person should know, and now we're assuming, and you know what that leads to.
Right.
And so it really starts in communication. And me personally, Joe, I think the counseling, marriage counseling, as I have seen in the past, is not doing it. Because
Wait a minute.
It's surface. It has been surface. It's not digging deep into stuff. A lot of things that people experience in their marriages, they don't even talk about that in marriage counseling. Nobody talked about to us, and I'm not knocking the marriage counseling. It was good for what it was good for. But a lot of things we hit and never talked about. Okay, when you have children, make sure you communicate and make sure everybody's good. Never talked about that. Never talked about it. Never discussed it. So to me, it's being aware. And even if you're in it now, it's not too late. If you're in it now and you have small children, 3 years old, 4 years old, you're married, hey, stop listening to us today. Go out. Look, I want to make sure you.
And that's what I was going to say. You say, well, how do you fix it? I think for both people, you got to slow down. You got to stop.
Ernest, how do we stop in the busy world when we got social media? We got the kids. We got to take a football practice. You got to go work. You just got to work. She just got to work. She's stuff. How the hell do we real talk? We talking about real life for everybody watching this show. How do we slow down in 2024?
It's hard.
Because all of those things you just mentioned, you can't do all those at the same time, even if you take marriage out of it. But you got to do all those things separately, and everything is prioritized. So that marriage has got to be prioritized somewhere in there.
And usually, married couples, what do me being married twice, been divorced? My experience has been that we put marriage last on the back burner because it should be okay. I'm very guilty of saying, I've already married you. You got the ring on your finger. Then I need to go do what I got to go do. I got to go get this paper. You know what I'm saying?
And add that, like I'm providing.
Yeah, I'm doing what we say as men, right? So when you come into me with some craziness, you don't want to hear my craziness, but also you don't want to hear my craziness. You see what I'm saying?
And so why do we think it's crazy?
Exactly. But that's the conversation. We're cool when we're in Disneyland, when we step out and the kids are here. You try to do the right thing. You love this person, but now I really don't like your ass for real. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
and it can get to that. I remember our pastor talking, and most of our training and our upbringing in ministry and stuff, and the most years of us being married, we're under Pastor Mike leadership. And I remember him talking, and he said, "Oh, you know us now." But he said, "What do you have when the love is gone?" And I was like, that's not even possible. See, I was earlier on.
Right.
Like, what is he talking about?
Right.
Until it happened. And so there was a time when you said, I don't want to look at you. If I can just slide this pillow over your face and still be all right.
I've had a woman say that to me. I've had a woman say that to me. Yeah. It's not a good place to be. That's what I want to get to.
Right.
That's what I want to get to, because what do you do in that moment? How did y'all communicate? What did that look like?
Well, you remember I said that I was bringing a broken earnest into a relationship.
Mhm.
Well, you can't do anything until you fix you. You gotta fix you. And so I would recommend to anyone, before even marriage counseling, and we coach now, we do marriage coaching now. So we're not against the counseling. She didn't make that statement just because we're against counseling. It's just the part that's being covered in. So in our coaching, that's what we do. We deal with the hard stuff.
Yeah, we get in there, blended families, all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. And so going back to your question, see, I have to be able to make sure I'm whole for her. Everything that I'm making a change for. And so that's what I did. I had to go to get individual counseling. Let alone talk about marriage counseling.
Okay, so you're a black man, married with kids.
Yes.
What made you know that you had to do that? Because I was told to do it, and I told my wife to go to hell. My ex-wife. I said I'm not doing it. I said, and this is why this is the big reason why I'm divorced. It's because this is my words to my ex-wife. I don't need nobody to tell you what I want to say. I know how to talk to you. So we can talk. Whatever you need to say, this is what I do for a living. I'm a radio talk show. We can talk. So I don't need nobody. I don't need a third party trying to tell me how to talk to you. So I'm not going to marriage counseling.
Right.
Didn't realize at that point in time that the marriage counseling wasn't for your dumb ass. It was for her because she couldn't talk to you.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
Let me say that to y'all, right?
That's it. That was
Because when she said, let's go to marriage counseling, I went strictly into what Joe said he ain't going to do.
which is the selfish part of it.
That's right.
Right. But I'm thinking I'm talking for us.
Right.
But when she said, I want us to go to marriage counseling, basically what she was saying is, dude, you listen to talk. You have an answer for everything. You are listening to me. So I need a third party to say something to you so you can shut up.
Right.
She was not strong enough to say that to me
Right.
or make me understand that. So the conversation would end. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm not going to go there and sit and talk to somebody, something I can say, you know how to speak. That was me.
That's a good example of men think that they communicate, because she mentioned that we got to communicate. One of the major factors in marriage, right? Average men, I do talk.
Right.
I do. But people are not thinking of what communication is. Understanding.
Right.
Yes.
Not just words.
But you know, so what I've learned is communication is more so, and I hate to say this because I love to talk, but it's more listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without responding.
You listen to understand.
Yes. And without responding, right?
That's it.
And giving an answer, good or bad, to her question.
Right.
Or saying, I don't know how to fix that. And the biggest thing I think as a man, I never want to be sitting there talking to my wife and saying, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do for us.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to cut you off before you get to the question, because I'm thinking quickly. Two things. I want her to end this conversation. And number two, I got this under control.
So there's a fear of exposure and vulnerability when it really shouldn't be, because she is you and you guys are each other. So you should be okay with the vulnerability. But I don't know. I'm not a man. I don't know. Does it make you feel weak to say, hey, I don't?
Yes.
And it should be okay. That should be probably one of the safest spaces.
Y'all don't make it safe for us. Y'all do not. And I'm going to explain in a minute why. But I heard something this morning I want to repeat here on the show. The way you treat a person is the way you see them. The way you allow somebody to treat you is the way you see yourself. Right? So when you're saying what you're saying, yes, I feel weak, I feel vulnerable because it made me feel that way. I don't trust you.
And what has caused that?
You're supposed to be my safe space, and whatever I told you at some point you used it against me. Or you told a friend, or you told a family member. Right. And so you're no longer
she needs counseling.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But you're not, when I feel like that, and I feel like I'm coming at you and I'm attacking you, I feel at that point that you're no longer my safe space. See, what women don't understand is you can't tell me to be vulnerable, and then as soon as you get mad at me, you take my vulnerability and you throw it back at me. Right. You call me the weak dude, blah blah blah. All these things women say once they get mad. You're no longer my safe space. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm not just an alpha, I'm double alpha male, and I'm protective. Now I'm protective against you, because now I got a shield up. Because now I'm not going to tell you I love you, but I can't really trust you anymore, because now you don't have my back. Because anytime a woman throws my words back into my face, we done mentally. I've checked out.
So, and I just kind of feel just in the spirit. I believe that people who are listening, they're there with what you're saying right now. They are there right there. And
So
I can
ministers to
say
us.
we, I believe Ernest has been to that space because I mean I've been to a point. He's brought out anger in me I never knew I had. And so because I'm an alpha female, I'm gonna drag you if you hit those areas that's tender. And so we both have said things to each other that has been horrible because of the hurt spaces. But then we had to come to a space where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be with you, you're gonna be with me, but we can't be with each other in the headspace that we are. Something has got to change. So I know with me, I had to put the hurt aside, the disappointment aside, because usually women in relationships, they're not hurt as much as they are disappointed. And you want them to be hurt. When you're disappointed, that what you're talking about, you go to husband. And so, we have to get past the disappointment. So I was in a disappointed space. And I said, you know what? And I go to the Bible on this. I can't hold him to by the neck and treat him a certain space and me call myself loving God. Because I wouldn't expect God to do that to me. He forgives me. I'm not perfect, Joe. Nobody is perfect. But God's grace is sufficient. And he's quick to forgive me. So who am I to hold him and not forgive him if I'm expecting God to forgive me? And if we need to be this, I got to get. If I'm disappointed, give it to God, back up, be done with it. If I'm mad, if I'm pissed off at him, I got to get that out too. And then I got to get to a space to allow him to start over. If he's trying to change, let him change. I remember when Ernest started making some changes, couldn't accept it because I'm still stuck in my mind. Now I know you're gonna come back to old E, as you call him, after a while.
Right.
And so I'm so posted up for him to go back to who he used to be. I can't enjoy who he is, and it's not fair to him. And then it's wasting time for me. I mean, at this point, I have probably more years behind me than ahead. Right. And so, what are you gonna do with this? Either you're gonna be with this man that God has given you, forgive. We got to forgive each other. I'm not just forgiving him; he's forgiving me. We got to forgive each other for this thing. Move on, but it's forgiveness, Joe. That's the main thing. People hold on to stuff and don't let it go.
Yes.
And when you hold on to that, guess what? You start affecting here. Headaches, migraines, hair loss, inflammation, weight gain, heart attacks, high blood pressure, diabetes. All of that is coupled with unforgiveness.
Yeah. And that's why you see couples, been married for 10, 12 years, you start seeing the women look down, man, wow, you should be leveling up. She should be better because she's married to me. She can look back 30 years ago and say, wow, okay, I'm sitting a little better. Right. I should be able to do the same thing. Okay, I'm sitting a little better. Right. Not being sick and that because
settling. Yeah, people been married for 50, 60 years. Oh, great, that's so great. Oh, well, are you happy?
Right.
I ask that question all the time, right? Because people think because you're together and they see it, right? The book lies, the cover lies on most marriages and most people. Let me just say that. The cover says you're Christian. If you start to reading that book, it's all torn apart in there. There's not a Bible verse you can find. You got to search for the Bible verse inside that marriage. So can you talk to Clarissa? And then I want you to talk, Ernie. Could you talk to the women that is going through this? The steps, because I understood you said that you got to fix yourself, but we, like you said, we got to go deeper. I want to go deeper in this show with this because when you really don't like him, you really got your points, and your facts are facts. Your facts are facts. Everything is adding up, right? It's not working, and here's reason why. And it looks good. Whoever you talk to, it adds up. How do you find within yourself to work and want to be with that man at every morsel in you at that point in time? It's not facting. It's not working for you. Right. Could you speak to the women that want to be with that man but don't know how to get past it because of family, friends, feelings, emotions, and like I said, 2 + 2 is equal to 4. But she's saying, "I want to stay."
If I can think the key word there is she wants to stay. So if you fashion within yourself that you want to stay in this, I don't care. All the facts can be against you. All the cons are outweighing the pros. But then it's one question: why are you still here? He used to ask me all the time, "Well, why are you still here?" And I'm like, Because I love you. Hate to even say it.
Right.
But you have to figure out, why are you still here? Why are you still here? Not because the kids, they heal, they'll be fine. But why are you still here? And some of the things I used to remember, Joe, is crazy.
Okay.
We would be, like, mad at each other. And he'll come and I'll find out something happened or somebody did something against him, or we take that anger, put it to the side, then we team Kenty. We're gonna fight that battle together. Then we go back and get our man.
Go back to our court.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? Who does that?
Right.
And that's happened on a couple of nights. And like with the kids, the situations going on with them, we can be fire mad at each other. And we come together and we're fighting for our children. And so when I realized, I said, everybody can't do that. If they're mad, they're mad. Right. They don't care. You can fight that by yourself. You on your own and want to see you be dragged. Couldn't do that. And so you have to really find out, if you're here, despite everything else, what is your why? And that's with everything, Joe. When you're in business, your calling, what you're doing, what's your why with your life? What's your why? What's our why as a couple? Why did God bring us together? If this is where you want to be, because that's the key. If you've made a decision that you want to be in it, okay, then you got to understand the why. Everything else, it doesn't matter. And then you start working on you, because I started working on me. I started working on me before he did. But it came out like, I'm going to do me.
That's the way people get a chance to see the ugly mix of the salad or the gumbo being mixed, right? Because that's why I'm glad. And I thank y'all so much for coming down to the Filter Coffee Parlor and talking about this, because many people won't want to share the bad parts. It's good to talk about the good parts. So, with that being said, your side of this, you going through, she ain't liking you right now, right? That this thing ain't working. You about ready to go ahead and call it quits too. Right. Pay the alimony and child support. I'm ready to dip. I'm tired of your crap too, right? Where were you at? And what would you say to the young men right now that are going through this? Like I said, I understand the God and maturity part, but let's say the heathens like Joe like it, but they love that woman, right? Because it's easy for me to go out and say, okay, and I'm not I'm not trying to be funny, but I want to talk to the average person that hadn't got close to God yet, right? Or hadn't really walked through the church and got that back. Those are the people that we really need to be reaching, because those are the ones who actually are going to move this country forward, and God's going to find them along the way, right? So, as a young man out there, he's trying to find his way. He ain't got time to be hearing this crap from old girl. He's tired of it. She got his 1 or 2 kids, but he's like, man, I'd be better off just seeing some child support and do. What would you say to him, and how'd you get there?
Well, first of all, I'd say this: every marriage is not created equal.
Okay,
it's not, and so in that, you have to do what your marriage dictates.
Meaning,
for example, social media, all this stuff out here, people are watching. There's a lot of couples doing a lot of stuff, right? So they can make stuff look so flowery, like, and you watching it. I love them. I love that couple. Well, you don't know what's going on in behind the scenes. For example, the pranks, like those of my wife will prank each other. We don't do that. That's understanding. We don't. Now we have fun. Our thing is we don't prank, but we kind of get on each other. Like, why are you dancing like that? Or why are you doing that kind of stuff?
Well,
that works
for y'all.
Us.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I mean. So to guys that's in that space, as it relates to, you don't know what to do. I would say there's some foundations that is going to be the same, whether or not you in the church, out of the church, you one toe in, one toe out. I think the main foundation is fixing you. There's nothing you can do more for that woman that you're connected with than fix you. Because if you're receptive to it, God is going to show you. You just got to open yourself and be able to listen. Like you said, I wouldn't listen to it. Right. I wouldn't listen to that. But if you're able to listen, and he speaks through people, if more than 1, 2, 3, 4 people are telling you the same thing about you, that's you. You don't listen. If more than 2 or 3 people tell you don't listen. So get into, I wouldn't say a therapist, but if a therapist works for you, but get with somebody that can tell you about you.
Right.
And then you start making those baby steps to change you. And I'm gonna tell you,
I'm gonna say, be okay with what you see.
Yeah,
Because you may not like what you see.
Oh, you're not gonna like it
when you see you.
You know,
You may not like it.
Yeah. And so, and in that, when you talk about being a blessing to the woman that you're connected with, she's gonna be the first one who sees it.
Yeah.
She's gonna be, you know, he didn't respond like he usually responds. Okay. That's a little different. And so you keep on doing it, and it becomes a lifestyle. I remember sometimes we would argue, man, we go weeks. I mean, walking down the same hall in the house.
Almost knock each other down.
Just won't say nothing.
How do y'all get through those moments, and how y'all? Because that's what a lot of people go through. I did it. How does that happen?
Somebody got to break. Oh, wait, to get to that point, I have to break it.
How you break it?
Okay. Usually now, I gotta be honest. Most times he break it.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, but you're not surprised. But
Yeah,
he's the one that's gonna normally break it. And so he may, because you know, when you've been together for a while, you know what kind of make you laugh or whatever. Or he'll my love language is gifts. So I might get a cash app, you know. I'm smiling, but I'm still mad, but I'm still smiling.
Right.
Or, you know, or he'll because I like good foods and he like cook, you know, I'm eating, enjoying the food, I'm still mad, but I'm gonna eat it.
Right.
You know, and he just kind of wears me down,
right.
if you will. But he really is always, most times the first. I've gotten better, but usually it's his fault. But anyway.
Y'all see what we have to deal with. But let me ask y'all this, because when I'm listening, there has to be a yin and a yang. Like the alpha can be you sometimes, but sometimes she's the alpha. You have to be the bravo, and you have to know your wife, that you know you, even though you're wrong, that you have to say, okay, let's fix this. Now, let me ask you this question, Clarissa. Are there times that you know that you're wrong, but then you have to break your pride?
Yeah.
And you have to go and do what you need to go do because he done it for you so many times. Are you willing to compromise?
I have done that.
Okay.
It hasn't been awesome, but I've done that. It hasn't been awesome now.
But why? The question I would ask you is why?
Well, because you know the alpha in me, alpha women are a lot like alpha men.
Right.
So we do have some forms of pride.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would be like embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
You know,
right.
That I might do something nice with him, or you want to go get something to eat. You know, man, you want to get something to eat.
But see, this would be the thing. If she didn't have that part of it, then that would make her a narcissist.
Yeah.
And I couldn't deal with that. Right. Because she didn't see her wrong, and she just never could be wrong.
But I do this too. Like when you go to bed, you know, at night, you know how you just kind of ease that toe over there first. You check the water.
Right.
Okay. Then you gotta get over a little bit and stuff. You know, you gotta test the water.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you this. Because of that, and I'm speaking to certain women. Every woman's not a female. There's nothing wrong with that. Mm. But I had to learn how to calm that thing down. Mm. So in order to allow him, you said something I thought was really interesting about how sometimes women don't allow you guys to be vulnerable and to have that. And if you're with an alpha female, sometimes that's hard to do. Yeah. It's not even on purpose, it's just a makeup of who we are. But I had to do some things on purpose to really pull that back. But by the same token, you know, Ernest has grown to allow that space for me to be safe in, and I can lean more into my feminine energy as opposed to operating in my normal, say, masculine energy with my alpha characteristics.
Gotcha.
So he creates that space. In the beginning, I didn't have that space. I didn't. So I felt like I had to just be that girl, that chick for most of the times. But as we have grown and been through some things, he has learned to let me be me. But then he's also created an amazing space for me now. So if I wanted to lean more into that feminine energy, I could and feel safe in it.
Wow. That's the part that we miss. You talked about those guys that just, okay, what's going on? And if they have alpha females, they're looking at it all wrong, because all the stuff I'm seeing is you got this masculine energy. Masculine energy don't do nothing to me. She can be all that stuff don't faze me.
He did in the beginning though.
Right, and then
because we're younger.
Well, that's why I keep talking about maturity.
Yeah.
Because I don't know you, and I guess I don't know. You said don't. I don't think it's an age thing as a mental thing, and knowing your woman.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention. At first, I wasn't paying attention to me. Remember, I told you, oh man, I was dealing with all kind of stuff. So I ain't paying attention to her. I'm not paying attention to the ebbs and flows, even in a woman, because we don't. I was talking to a friend of mine. I was like, man, a woman is going through about 4 or 5 transitions through a lifespan of a marriage.
Compared to y'all's
woman too. We hit a certain age, that's it, and then maybe possibly another one at 60, 70. But no, women go up, and they're riding, right? So if you're not ready for that, why you change your dress like that? Why you changing your hair like that? Why you doing? You asking more questions inside of them. Okay, so I'm checking that out. Okay, all right. Not ready for that and paying attention and supplying that support. Oh, it's gonna be like this, you know, or you're gonna get that woman that remains in a space that just to make you comfortable, and she never evolves into that person. So she's supposed to be.
That's right.
That's when she started looking sick and said, man, your wife doing this, and man, your wife, why your wife look like that? Why are you not happy? Not happy. And so that's all. But I'm gonna tell you, all of that revelation came through counseling. It helped me understand her. It wasn't, it wasn't just for me. It was okay. This is what she's thinking right now. I'm not smart enough. I was whatever, but I'm not smart enough to figure this out. So that was my culmination. I was trying to do everything. She wasn't affected by it. Man, why it ain't working no more? I'm doing the wrong things. I'm trying to give her my love language. That's what men normally do. You heard about the love language?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'm trying to her love language is totally different, guys.
Don't be doing no active service with hip attached to it.
All of that.
I think, hopefully, people listen to the show. You guys are getting, we hit something for you that you're going through. The problems and the one thing, the key thing I'm listening to, 30 years here. Number one is communication. I think that's huge. Because usually on a lot of my shows, I talk about it's the finance. But, in this sector today, what we talk about in the Kesia Joe show is communication is key.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I hear is ego.
Ego and pride.
Right. Ego and pride. Communication, ego, and pride. Because I said this on my show yesterday with Nephew on the Joe Lockett show that comes on every Monday through Friday, 4 to 6. I said, I don't know if marriage is worth it anymore. And if I ever get married again, it's 2 things that I would not say in my marriage anymore, right? I'm not going to say for good, for rich or poor, or for better or worse, because that's a lie. Women don't stay with you if your ass is poor, and nobody's going to stay for the worst. They'll stay for the other part, long as they want to. But when it comes to that worst part, it's how worse is it and how long it's going to be. So I don't think God, and I'm going to ask y'all, because y'all in the ministry, y'all can help this heathen out. Because I said this yesterday. So when God said for better or for worse, did he mean that the worst can have a time period, or did he mean for better or for worse?
No, I think it's ever evolving. And it's just like you're better or for worse outside of a spouse. You got better or worse all through your life by yourself. So it's just when you're with each other, you guys blend that together. And when he's in his worst, I'm at my best, so I can help him get out of his worst. That's what the connection is like. Hand and glove. It's like sock and foot. It's making sure that where he's weak, I'm strong, and vice versa.
And someone threw at me yesterday, well, what if the other person is just not trying anymore? You and your better for worse. Then what?
If someone checks out and decides, and I'm not, it used to be a thing, God is against divorce and all this, but sometimes people get married not supposed to. They be married, and then you can see God on the person they're with.
Right.
Sometimes they're being abused, all types.
And we need
right. Yeah. And so it just really depends. If you've checked out and you're not even wanting a marriage anymore or anything, you guys have to come to a decision. And don't spin wheels because you're wasting your time. So you got to come to a decision, and that's why really having God. I know we're talking about to people, but that's why it's so important. The only way we're still together, and this is transparent. The only way we're still together is because of God. And I will take that to my grave. Because it's God, his sovereignty and his grace and us being able to run to him for answers, it caused me to step back, bow down, because you have to become selfless, and you got to take all that to make you who you are. You got to back out in order for the marriage to blend. And so if he's broken and I'm broken, we can't go anywhere. So this stuff has got to get fixed, and pieces don't make a whole.
Last thing I want to ask you before I let y'all get out of here, because we're going over time, but it's okay. It's still like the Kesia Show. Being broke, this 2024, right? People struggle. When y'all had y'all tough time, because I'm sure you did financially, right? How did you continue to look at him when he wasn't able to provide, right? And how was you able to stay with her when you was not able to provide, and things and the ends was not meeting? What did that look like?
I'll take that one. I think today we've messed up some wording on what. Let's say, for example, I heard this the other day. Somebody was talking about provide. I need somebody. Mostly women. I need somebody that's gonna provide for me. Well, if the meaning of provision is only money for a woman, you behind the 8 ball. Because there's a lot of women that's unhappy. I mean, the money flowing, but they're unhappy. You know what I'm saying? In whatever space that is. But I think when you look at the money, a man providing goes deeper than just the money. If he's providing you, if he's not on a job right now, he's in between jobs. But if that house clean, when you get home, dinner's made, took care of whatever, that's provision. That guy's providing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you have to look at other areas. So with people talking about provision, you got to change your scope a little bit. Now, I'm not talking about a damn joke ain't doing nothing, nothing like that, because the woman should have that expectation. But as it relates to provision, you need to change your mindset a little bit. Money is a factor. It always will be. I think that money can be catalyst when you're talking about both people enjoying life, enjoying each other, enjoying the things of life, because money does make a way for you to do that. But if you're not prepared, again, your couple could be making all the money in the world. Marriage toe up. They ain't traveling nowhere. I don't want to go nowhere with you. Right. So it's perspective.
It is. And I've never been one to just, I didn't come to him for his money. And he comes from a very established family. But that's not, I've never been hurt, ever. And even when we first got married, I made more than he did at one point. But that wasn't an issue. Our money was our money.
And but that's not the same today, Clarissa.
I know, but I'm just saying, how we are. And even now, he has made it possible, because I'm full-time business owner, been that way for several years. He was able to allow that space for me to do that. And so, where if he's, with the things that he's doing, he takes care of certain things. I take care of hair with the kid, daughter, and all that other type of stuff. And he makes sure that my money, when I make, he said, he was like, look, you ain't got to worry about it. You just let that be yours or whatever. And it's almost like his money is my money and my money is my money. That's how he set it up. Right. And so, and I'm good with that. I don't have an issue with that. But it's not if he hit a spot. I'm not looking at him crazy because he hit a spot. That could be anybody. Right. And my point is like, okay, what can we do to fix this? How can we work together to get it back up? What can we do?
Because it's stronger when it's we.
And so, if you guys are listening to this, ladies and gentlemen, I love it. For 30 years, y'all. But I want you guys to get out here. But I want you guys, if you're going through marital problems, right, go back to this video, share this video, send it to somebody their DM, and understand what they are, what work that you got to put in. Marriage is not easy. It would never be a walk through the park every single day, 365, 12 months out of the year, right? That's not going to happen. But I think sometimes we're getting married too fast in America. Anybody out there on the digital universe, I want you guys to think about this. And what you heard, y'all hear me say a lot, but they said it. They became friends first. She then wooed him to become that guy of God. And he said, I want her enough. He became that guy of God. that was something that they worked on. That's something she knew what she wanted. He knew what he wanted. A lot of times when we get in relationships in America, we don't know what we want. We know what we see. You see what I'm saying? We chase after that, but you don't have any other thought. You say you're gonna figure it out along the way, and along the way you mess it up because there's no thought into it. Another thing I want to point out in this interview today that I learned from both of you beautiful people here is this: men, we gotta stop going into a relationship broken and not trying to fix ourselves. It's okay to be broken, but know that you are broken, and know when things go bad. Look in the mirror first. Be able to communicate with her to let her know that, hey, baby, I'm going through something. My family did this. I don't know this. And fellas, we got to really start understanding. We can't make that an excuse, but we got to talk about it. Or if you can't talk to her about it, talk to your close friend about it and get that fixed. Because you will never be the man you need to be for her if you're not going to be the man you need to be for yourself.
That's good. That's good.
Okay? And ladies, right? The thing I see for y'all is make the man a little bit more safer. Okay? Y'all do y'all thing. Y'all fine. Y'all beautiful. But we need a woman, right? We don't need you to take care of a lot, but I need you to make sure that I'm good. And I think a lot of times, ladies, I'm not a woman. I'm a man. But I'm telling you as a man, what I want you to be able to do, right? The cooking and cleaning, I do it myself. I can wash my own clothes. But do you got my back? On a day-to-day basis, are you making sure the things that I don't do, those things are being done for me? The shirts that I like to wear, you see a new shirt out there, you just go pick it up for me, right? The glasses that I like, to buy me some new glasses. Not on my birthday. Right? Not on my birthday.
That's your love language.
You know what I'm saying?
That's understanding your name.
But it's not even for me. I just want to see you doing things because I need a woman who loves me. See, when I know you love me, I went through a brick wall for you. Right? You know what I'm saying? So,
but you're asking them to show, because you just made a list of things that you would like for that person to do.
Right.
That's your love language.
Okay.
So they got to understand that, okay, this is what makes Joe happy.
Okay.
I'm able to do this, this, and this. That's communication. That's understanding you. That's watching you. I think that's amazing.
And for me, like I said, I don't need you to do the house chores. I don't give a damn about that. I'm just being honest. I don't. Right. Excuse my French, but yeah, y'all know me. I don't care about that. Right? My house is clean right now. My clothes is washed. Everything. So what I need for you to do is, if things go bad, can I count on you? Yeah. You got my back. If things go down in this house, right, that you're going to fight for hard as me as long as I'm going to fight for you no matter what. Or are you going to run out on me, right? One thing I've had in my life, I guess I'm damaged product, is that when things get tough, a woman will stay for only a certain period of time, but then once things get really, really bad and they get fed up with you, they got to make an excuse to leave, which is legitimate, but is it really legitimate? Because us as a man, that's not legitimate for us. I got to stand in this fire and burn the hell up if it's going to protect you. Are you going to do the same for me? I want a woman who's going to have my back, regardless of anybody outside. Ain't nobody getting to you. When I go to work, I do not want to have to be thinking about, if I got to take that problem from home to work, you got to go. That's just me at this stage of my life. I can take work home, but I'm definitely not going to take home to work. Right. Are you going to do the right thing? Am I going to be arguing with you? Are you out there messing around with me? I'm not taking that to work. If I got to take that to work, I don't need you as a woman, but that's just Joe Lockett. What I'm telling y'all to do is find out what y'all knows are. Work on those things and make sure when you get into a relationship, you have those conversations.
Everybody hold.
And it's not going to be perfect. But I want to do this before we get out here. Is there anything, projects that y'all got going on? Anything you guys want to advertise on this platform? How they can get in touch with you for marriage counseling? Go ahead.
It was the last part.
Coach. My bad, y'all. Coach.
I tell you what, just do inboxes for the counseling on Facebook, either Larissa L. Kenty or Ernest G. Kenty for the marriage counseling as it relates to business.
Yeah, I speak to media. We're all things on communication. So we are a live stream videography and podcast production company. So if you have an idea, you want to put it out there, you have a good story, you want to get it out there, you don't have all the equipment and things for your people. So let us know, hit us up. We'll give you everything you need to make it successful.
All right, guys, you guys know how I feel about this evening. You know, we got the Joe Lockett Show coming in with the one and only Joe Lockett, the boy. You got Denise. And of course, you got nephew, y'all. It's going to be something crazy. From 4 to 6 this afternoon, we got still locked in. Hey, Kesia will be back in the building next week. Kesia, we love you. You was here in spirit with us, baby girl. And we love you guys so much, man. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And listen, learn each other, love each other. It's going to be okay. Y'all have a great day.
It's good.